Did you know that 70% of leaders admit they struggle with delegation? Shocking, right? Many believe that delegating is a sign of weakness or that it means they're not good enough. But the truth is, leaders who delegate effectively can actually achieve 33% more in the same amount of time. Sounds like a superpower, doesn't it? In this video, we'll uncover the secrets of delegation, showing you how to work smarter, not harder. Whether you're a manager, business owner, or simply someone who wants to get more done, learning how to delegate properly is a game changer. We'll cover how to trust your team, set clear expectations, and avoid common mistakes that can slow you down. By the end of this video, you'll not only know why delegation is essential for your success, but you'll also have powerful strategies to put into action immediately. Ready to level up your leadership skills? Let's dive in. Chapter 1. The power of letting go. Why delegation isn't weakness. Delegation is one of the most misunderstood aspects of leadership. Many people mistakenly think that asking others to take on tasks means you're not capable of doing them yourself. But here's the truth. Delegation is a strength, not a weakness. In fact, a study by the Harvard Business Review found that leaders who delegate effectively are perceived as more competent. Why? Because it shows confidence in your team's abilities and helps you focus on what truly matters. By letting go of certain tasks, you free up your time to make strategic decisions, solve bigger problems, and push your vision forward. Great leaders don't do everything themselves, they build strong, empowered teams. Take Steve Jobs, for example. He didn't try to micromanage the engineers at Apple, he trusted them to create the products that would change the world. His role was to inspire and lead the direction. That's leadership. Delegation also helps prevent burnout. A study from the American Psychological Association shows that leaders who don't delegate often experience higher stress levels and struggle with decision fatigue. It's simple. When you do everything, you exhaust your mental energy, making it harder to lead effectively. So, the first step in becoming a great leader is understanding that delegation is a key part of achieving more, not less. Chapter 2. Mastering the art of clarity. How to communicate your expectations. Clear communication is the foundation of effective delegation. If you don't explain exactly what needs to be done, you can't expect the result you want. A report from McKinsey reveals that poor communication is the #1 cause of project failure. So, how do you avoid that? It all starts with setting clear expectations. Start by breaking down the task into smaller, manageable pieces. If you can't explain what needs to be done in a few sentences, it's likely not clear enough. For example, if you're asking someone to write a report, don't just say, "Write a report on the project." Be specific. Write a 2-page report on the project's timeline, outcomes, and budget status, including data from the last quarter. This gives your team clear guidelines to follow. Next, outline the desired outcome. Instead of just saying, "Make the report good," explain what good looks like. Does it need to be formal? Should it use specific data points? The more detailed your instructions, the less room there is for confusion. You want your team to succeed, so equip them with everything they need to succeed. Don't forget to check for understanding. One way to do this is by asking the person to repeat back what they've understood from your instructions. It's a simple technique, but it ensures everyone's on the same page. Research shows that when team members confirm what they've heard, it reduces the chances of errors and miscommunication. Chapter 3. Match the task to the talent. Delegation is a growth tool. One of the most effective ways to delegate is by matching the right task to the right person. Not everyone on your team will have the same strengths, so take time to understand your team members' skills, interests, and potential. Doing this allows you to make sure you're not giving a task to someone who isn't equipped for it. It's not just about getting the job done, it's about developing your team. For example, if someone on your team is particularly good with data, give them tasks that involve numbers and analysis. If someone excels in creativity, let them take charge of marketing or product design. This doesn't just make the work more efficient, it also boosts morale. People feel more motivated and engaged when they work on tasks that align with their strengths. Delegation is also a tool for growth. It can be a way to challenge your team members and give them new opportunities to develop. In fact, research by Gallup shows that employees who are given opportunities to use their strengths are 6 times more likely to be engaged in their work. So, by delegating tasks that stretch their abilities, you're investing in their growth and the growth of the organization. Don't be afraid to delegate tasks that seem difficult. A little challenge helps people grow. In fact, studies have shown that people often rise to the occasion when given tasks that push their limits. It builds their confidence, strengthens their skills, and prepares them for bigger responsibilities in the future. This is how great teams are built, by continuously pushing each other to achieve more. If you're finding this content helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more leadership tips and strategies to boost your career. Chapter 4. Trust but verify. How to track progress without micromanaging. One of the biggest challenges in delegation is knowing how to monitor progress without falling into the trap of micromanagement. Micromanaging can feel like you're staying on top of everything, but it often leads to frustration for both you and your team. A survey by the Society for Human Resource Management found that 59% of employees say micromanagement hurts their productivity. So how do you avoid this? The key is finding a balance between giving autonomy and providing guidance. First, establish regular check-ins that work for both you and your team member. These can be quick, 10-minute updates to ensure the task is on track, but they shouldn't be about hovering over every detail. This builds trust and shows you believe in their ability to succeed. Use a simple tool to track progress. Whether it's a shared project management system like Asana or Trello or just a basic checklist, this keeps everything transparent. Research by the Project Management Institute shows that teams with clear tracking systems are 2.5 times more likely to meet their goals. Transparency keeps everyone accountable without constant oversight. Another effective technique is setting milestones. Break the project into smaller chunks with deadlines, and ask your team to report on their progress toward each milestone. This keeps you in the loop without needing to oversee the entire process. Studies suggest that when teams break tasks into smaller goals, they're 20% more likely to finish the project on time. Finally, ask for feedback from your team. Don't just check on their progress, ask how they're feeling about the work, what obstacles they've encountered, and what support they need. This helps you provide the right guidance and ensures they don't feel like you're watching them too closely. Chapter 5. Delegation pitfalls. How to spot and avoid common mistakes. Even the most experienced leaders make mistakes when delegating. The key is recognizing common pitfalls and knowing how to avoid them. One of the biggest errors is not delegating enough. In fact, research from Gallup shows that 61% of managers struggle with delegating tasks effectively. This can lead to burnout and inefficiency. Another common mistake is overloading your team members. It might seem like giving someone several tasks at once will get everything done faster, but it can actually backfire. Studies show that employees who feel overwhelmed are 40% more likely to be disengaged at work. To avoid this, be mindful of each person's capacity and delegate tasks accordingly. A third mistake is not providing enough context. Just assigning a task without explaining the why behind it can leave your team members confused or disengaged. According to a study from Gallup, employees are 3 times more likely to be engaged when they understand the purpose of their work. Be sure to give clear reasoning behind each task you delegate. One more pitfall to watch for is neglecting follow-up. While you don't want to micromanage, you also don't want to let tasks fall through the cracks. A good leader checks in periodically to make sure everything is going as planned. But be careful. The follow-up should be helpful, not critical. When you follow up in a supportive manner, you show your team that you care about their success. Lastly, some leaders fall into the trap of not empowering their team to make decisions. When you delegate, trust your team members to make choices on their own. A study from McKinsey found that companies where employees have decision-making power are 2.5 times more likely to be innovative. By empowering your team, you help them grow, which benefits both them and the organization. Chapter 6. Delegation Success Stories. Real-life examples of how it transformed teams. Sometimes, the best way to understand the power of delegation is through real-life success stories. Take Richard Branson, for example. Branson is known for building Virgin Group into a global powerhouse, and one of his secrets is delegation. He once said, "You don't learn to walk by following rules. You learn by doing, and by falling over." Branson delegates important decisions to his team, giving them the freedom to innovate and solve problems. This strategy has helped him build a team of leaders who are highly engaged and capable of driving success. Another example is how Indra Nooyi, the former CEO of PepsiCo, turned the company around by focusing on delegating effectively. She once said, "The most important thing a leader can do is to delegate, give autonomy to others, and create an environment where people can thrive." Nooyi understood that giving her team the freedom to make decisions helped them take ownership of their work. Her leadership led PepsiCo to consistent growth, with a 40% increase in net revenue during her tenure. Then there's the story of Google's Project Oxygen. This initiative aimed to improve management across the company by empowering managers to delegate effectively. By shifting focus from micromanagement to trust and autonomy, Google saw improvements in employee satisfaction and performance. In fact, Google's employees reported a 40% increase in job satisfaction after the project launched. By allowing their managers to delegate better, they boosted creativity and productivity across the board. Finally, think of Elon Musk and his leadership style at Tesla. Musk is known for giving his employees a lot of responsibility. His approach isn't about micromanaging, it's about trust. One of his strategies is delegating decision-making power to his engineers, which has led to rapid innovation and success in Tesla's production line. The results? Tesla became the most valuable car manufacturer in the world by market cap in 2021. These real-life examples show how powerful delegation can be. When done right, it fosters trust, innovation, and growth, both for individuals and organizations as a whole. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay updated with more leadership tips and strategies that can transform your career and business.